Is there more money going out than what is coming in? And no matter what you earn, you always find yourself repeating the same cycle. Not having enough money to save, not doing the things you'd really love to do, promising yourself you won't get into any more debt. I get it. It is easier said than done. I lived my whole life wishing for more money, and no matter what I tried or did, nothing changed. I thought I had a good relationship with money, but week after week, month after month, year after year, somehow I would still be in the same place. Wishing for more and more money and wondering why I would always end up back in the same place. Not saving for the future and always getting caught out with another payment for something, this unexpected bill that just shows up out of the blue. Now things are different. My money has direction. I am saving for the future and I love watching my money grow. I have a safety net for those unexpected bills, and my favorite thing is I don't worry about money anymore, and I think that is huge. And here's what I want to tell you. This is absolutely 100% possible for you. And to find out how you can also stop living paycheck to paycheck like I did, I have a masterclass coming up called 3 Proven Steps to Stop Living Paycheck to Paycheck. No matter what you're earning, no matter what you're getting paid, you can do these principles and change your life. This is on the 16th of October at 8 p.m. BST, 3 p.m. Eastern and 2 p.m. Pacific. Go to the link www.lornapoole, LORNAPOOLE.LPAGES lpages.co/master master/your your/money money/masterclass. The link will be in the show notes. Hop on there, join us on the call, and get the help you deserve. Welcome to the Financial Freedom Podcast with your host, Lorna Poole, sharing the secrets to creating wealth, investing, and that all-important money mindset. To find out more and accelerate your journey to financial freedom, head on over to www.lornapoole.com to get started. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Financial Freedom Podcast. Would you love to have the right mindset to allow yourself to be able to make it, invest it, and save it? And I know in current climate with COVID, people are really thinking about their money right now because we find ourselves in situations where we've lost our job or the money's not coming in for our business, and we have to rethink how we do things. So my guest expert today, Fran Banting, is a personal growth consultant and results expert. She works with individuals, small business owners, and entrepreneurs, showing them how to grow themselves, their business, their profits by changing just one thing: how they think about things, their mind. She is the author of the best-selling book, Your Life as a Movie, Scripting and Producing Your Dreams into Reality, which sat on the bestsellers list next to Oprah Winfrey, Deepak Chopra, and I don't know why I'm tripping up. I know all these people. Eckhart Tolle. She is also the creator of the online program Scripting Your Results. Fran has a doctorate in holistic life coaching, and she also has a certified Thinking into Results. She also is a certified Thinking into Results facilitator with Bob Proctor, who I am personally a big fan of. So I'm really looking forward to talking to Fran. Fran, I myself struggle with money blocks. Why working on the mind makes such a big difference?
Hi, Lorna. Well, it's so great to be here, and I love talking about the mind. So I'm so glad you started with that. But one thing people don't realize is that they are the cause of all of their effects. And you are the one that's in control of everything that's around you. And once you accept that, then you can start changing things. A lot of people are going through their lives waiting for their environment to dictate to them what their results will be. But the minute you understand... I
love that. Say that again. That's huge.
Yeah, many people are waiting for their environment. So the people, the places, the opportunities that are around them, and they're waiting for those to take them to results. But once you realize that you're the cause of it all, you're the center, everything comes from you, you can start seeing things differently, and you can take control, and you can start creating your environment. So these times with COVID, you can see how our environment is starting to take control of us. We still need to go inwards and be in control of ourselves so that we can create our new environment.
Yeah, because, even when I was reading out there what you do, you were saying, you're the best-selling author of a book, Your Life as a Movie. So that's talking about, us scripting the way we want our life to be and making it happen.
Absolutely. You're deciding, just like a book or a movie, you're deciding at the very beginning what you want that movie to look like. This is the movie I want to make. And you're the star of that movie. So what does that movie look like? And when you can picture that and you can see the movie you want to create, and you're the star in this movie, you can now put things into action that take you there. You suddenly have a plan, and you can start plotting your course to achieve it.
But then, we plot our course to achieve it. But then, say we don't take action, or we procrastinate, or we know what we want, but we don't do what we know we should do. Mm-hmm. How do we get over that?
Well, that's a loaded question. So
I always give the loaded questions.
I'll start with understanding more about yourself and how you work. Yeah. There is a law in the universe that things around you, if you'll notice, everything around you is either growing or it's disintegrating. It's one or the other. And there's, you can see it with the plants and the trees, and they start growing, but then they hit a point and they start disintegrating. We are part of nature. We are exactly in the same universe as nature. We're part of it. So when we see ourselves as either growing or disintegrating, you can start looking around at yourself and saying, you know what? I'm disintegrating in every part of my life. I don't have a good relationship. I'm not making very much money. I don't like my job. I don't like where I live. How you do one thing is how you do everything, because you're the one that's orchestrating it all. So when you decide that you're going to go into growth and you're going to start growing and moving towards things, you're going to start creating and growing, your mindset changes. So as soon as you understand that the very first thing you want to do is get yourself out of disintegration, and you make the decision to move into growth, that's your first order of business. Now you can start seeing, okay, I want to expand, I want to grow. So it's basically first understanding how this works. We're part of this big vast universe, and you want to be going with it, not against it.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. And is money blocked really the issue, or is it something else? Because I have been told before that it's actually not the money.
Absolutely.
That's the issue.
It's not the money. What it is, I always look at things in 3 parts. So I was actually going to talk to you about these 3 parts that cause the way we do things and can cause us to have better results. So just like I did in my book, I always break things up into 3 parts. I do lights, camera, action. So if it's okay with you, I'll go into my
absolutely
3 areas. And so the very first thing I do is whatever issue you're having, the very first thing to do is acknowledge your belief. So turn on the lights and look inwards. And you can't change what you aren't aware of. So if we're going to talk about money, let's look at how you were raised with money. We all have paradigms. We are all formed from beliefs and our culture, and we were all taught to do things and to be a certain way. And one of those things was how to deal with money. So you actually have a belief system. You have an action and a reaction towards money that was taught to you. So if you were born around people that were entrepreneurs and they were always investing and everything else, you're comfortable with investing. But if you were raised by people who were always afraid of money, they always had scarcity, money never came often, and they were always worried about money, you're going to carry that belief with you as well. So we have a lot of these paradigms, a lot of these beliefs that are controlling us. And so the very first thing we need to do is find out what that belief is. And a lot of people can't do this. They don't want to go inwards and look, but really all you're doing is seeing how you react to money. Are you nervous when you don't have enough of it? Are you over ecstatic when you have it? Or are you, you don't know what to do with it, so you get rid of it right away. I call this the hot potato effect. People who come into a lot of money and then they just bat it away. They'll spend it all in one shot and then they go back to where they were before.
But a lot of this is unconscious. I know we're looking at beliefs and we're looking inner, but people are very unaware that they're even actually doing that on an outer level.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to analyze this, because you aren't aware of it. So what is your pattern with money? Is it that I'm stuck in the same job? I can't seem to get a raise. I can't make more money. Are you of the belief that you've hit your limit on your salary? Do you believe that investing is risky? Exactly what are your beliefs of money? Are you not worthy of receiving money? Do you think money's only for the rich? And you have to really be honest with yourself here. This is really hard to admit. A lot of people were raised by parents that were in the Depression. And so they keep money close to them. They're afraid to let money go. And you can't blame them, but that's their paradigm. That's how they were raised, and that was their experience. And if you're sitting there thinking that you don't have a belief, I'll give you an example of how powerful your belief system is and how it's controlling you. I want you to pretend you're at home and you're about to have cereal and you realize you're out of milk. So you decide to go to the store and you go to one of these. Do you have 7-Eleven where it's like a convenience store? Do you have convenience?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've lived in America.
You walk in and there's the counter and it's got candy bars all along under the counter, but the milk is always in the very back of the store. So you have to walk all the way to the back. You pick up your milk. And as you're getting your milk, you're thinking about, your debit card. Is it going to work? Do I have enough money to pay for milk? You're just thinking about your cereal and getting this milk home. And then you leave the store. Now, at any part, when you walked in that front door of that store, did you say to yourself, don't grab the chocolate bars and put them in your pocket. Don't steal that bag of chips. Don't walk out of here with the milk without paying. Did you think that at all when you were going in to buy the milk? And chances are you weren't, because you're not thinking about stealing. You're not thinking about grabbing chocolate bars and putting them in your pocket. Because when you were a child and you did grab at it, your parents would stop you. They'd say, you don't steal. You don't grab chocolate. You don't grab things. You have to pay for it. So now here you are, an adult, and you're just walking in the store. It's not even on the radar because it's a hidden belief and you're reacting, but you don't even know you're aware. You're not even aware of it. You don't even know it's happening. You're not even thinking about it. It's controlling you. That belief is stopping you from stealing, but you're not even aware it's there. So
no, because when you were asking me, I was like, do I think that? Do I not?
No, you're thinking about the milk and paying for the milk. You're not stopping yourself from stealing. We don't. We're not walking in and going, oh, don't grab that chocolate bar. Oh no, don't grab those chips. It's not even on the radar. We're thinking about what you have to buy. And we do our task and we take it to the counter and we leave. And that's because you've been conditioned not to steal. At least I hope you have.
Mm-hmm.
But that shows you how deep our beliefs are, how we've been programmed to do things. And the same thing has happened with money. When you were a child, or the people that raised you, you witnessed how money was used, how you felt about money, and what to do with money, how to use money for you, or how to use money against you. Whatever you were shown, it's in there. So your first order of business is to find out exactly what your belief is.
And how does somebody, right? So say I'm aware now, and I know the what I'm saying to myself. I'm catching the beliefs. Mm-hmm. What needs to happen for me to free myself of them, that I actually see in my physical world the results, that I'm increasing my income, I'm making peace with money. So once we look at the beliefs and we're catching them, what needs to happen next? What's the camera and the action?
Well, there you go. That's the intro to my next part, which is camera. You need to see what it is you want. Now, here's where a lot of people make a big mistake. I work with a lot of people and I say, what is it that you want? And they say, well, I want $1 million.
Yeah.
Great. And I actually get people who say, I want $10 million. And they're going big, they're thinking big and they're all excited about it. And they say, I want $10 million. And I go, great. Okay, so your goal is to have a pile of paper sitting in front of you, stacked in front of you with dollar signs on it and numerical things on it. And you're going to be sitting there with this pile of paper. Is that going to make you happy? And they're like, well, no, I have to take that money now and go do something with it. Okay, so you don't want $1 million. You don't want $10 million. You want what that money will buy you. And you see, this is where people don't know how to go towards what it is they want. They're setting up these milestones that are unachievable. They say they want $10 million, but they don't know why. And then they give up. They start, the back talk starts, and they talk themselves out of it. So you need to have a want. You have to be able to see it and feel it, taste it. You can see it in your hand. That is the end result. And you don't worry about the $1 million, the $10 million. What is the want? And when you discover that want, it is something you want. It's so amazing. It makes you feel great. And it gives you this drive and passion. You then have the motivation to go earn or achieve that $1 million. Something has to drive you. And this is where a lot of people, don't know. They can't visualize what it is they truly want. And that's the key. Does that make sense?
It makes complete sense, yeah. Because, I had a business and I realized, I don't know, a couple of years into it, I was like, I'm not motivated by money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm still not motivated by money.
It's not the money. Mm-mm. No. It's never the money.
It's what the money gives you.
No. And so when you're talking about money and you're talking about finances, you do need money to attain certain things. But if you don't have the motivation to go earn it, you're not going to get it. So what's going to motivate you to go attract money? That's all you're doing. We're skipping the money part and going to the end result. This passion and this drive, it's amazing what your body will do. When you are motivated to have something, when you see something you really want, your body will kick into gear and it will make it happen. I remember I was working in the corporate world for like 10 years and my salary was always the same. And I was watching while they hired people beside me, and then they would get promoted, but I would stay in the same job. And I would go, and I had more skill. I couldn't figure out why people were passing me. And then I realized it was because in my mind, I had hit my limit. I couldn't see myself, doubling my salary. So I told myself that my next job is going to be double my salary. And then I started envisioning what my life would look like if I doubled my salary. And my dream was to have a new house. We were busting at the seams in my house. So it wasn't that I wanted double my salary. I wanted a new house. Doubling my salary would help me get it. But my true want was a big house because I had 3 boys and, hockey gear and sports equipment. We were just busting in our little small house. And so once I changed that perspective, once I started envisioning this house with us in it, then the motivation got me going. I'm like, you know what? I'm applying for jobs and I'm asking for this and I'm getting my house. And you know what I did? I applied for a job and I doubled my salary. I asked for it and I got it.
Yeah.
I doubled it. So in 1 year, all I changed was my perception, the way I saw my want. So the camera part is so important. You need to see what it is you want, and that will give you the motivation to go change your limitations that you have with money. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, it's so important. So important. And we need to use that imagination. You need to be able to bring up that imagination and wake it up and just stir it up and just go there. Don't be embarrassed about it. Nobody can see your imagination. Nobody's witnessing what you're thinking about. So think big, go with what really moves you and find that image that just wakes you up and motivates you. And you'd be amazed how it moves you into new things.
Some people struggle, though, to find out what actually moves them.
Yes. Well, that I don't know if you want me to go into, but that has to do with your imagination. A lot of people have learned to turn off their imagination. They do not know how to think big. And there's another process that was taught to you. So think about it when you were in school and you were in elementary school. Do you remember when your mind would just wander and you'd be thinking about something and then all of a sudden, wham, the teacher would stop the class and go, Lorna, stop daydreaming. And you're like, oh my God, I was off in La La Land. That was your imagination. It was working. When we were children, our imagination was off the charts. We couldn't control it because we had so many things going on. But we actually got in trouble when our minds wandered. Focus, pay attention, stop moving around, sit still, focus, pay attention to what I'm saying. And slow.
What's the action part?
So the action part is when you do find your want, we want you to make the decision to do it. So a lot of people will, go, okay, yeah, this looks great and I want to do this, but they won't make the decision to do it. They will just keep it in the back of their mind like wishful thinking, and they will never actually sit down and say, you know what, I'm going for it. I'm going to start doing everything it takes for me to achieve this. And making decisions is a lot harder than people think. They think they're making decisions, but they're not. You want, this is where you want to sit down and you want to see your end result, and you sit down and you decide how you're going to get there. So if my dream was to own this house, well, how am I going to get there? Well, I'm going to double my salary, and then I'm going to go to a bank and get a new mortgage, and then I'm going to get the down payment, and then I'm going to buy the house. I'm going to hire a realtor, and you have your plan.
It's funny because the answers are always simple, but when you're stuck, it seems, so far away. But when you actually put the dots together and you start moving, it's never as hard as we make it to be in our mind initially.
Absolutely. Most of your obstacles are made up in your mind. It's your subconscious mind saying, hey, I don't like what you're doing here. I like my comfort zone. So knock it off. And it's going to, come at you and try and stop you from moving forward. It's all in your mind. But if you challenge it and say, look, no, this isn't hard, and you just challenge it and put it in its place, you can move through it. So there are ways to go through it. And that's what I teach in my coaching and my courses, is how do you take those old beliefs and how do you change them into a new belief, a belief that's going to take you towards the results you want.
I love it.
Yeah, it is very straightforward. It is a process.
Sorry, Fran. We've had an amazing conversation, and I think you've made it really, really clear about how someone journeys from the belief that's not supporting them. And I think the biggest aha, as me as a listener who's even on this journey, is how your want needs to be very strong, because having a strong want gets you to do what's necessary to make it happen. For anyone listening to this and is really inspired from what you're saying, what's the kind of one aha you want to leave them with, thinking about and saying, right, I can do this?
I want everybody to realize that they are so original. Like, there is only one you. There'll never be another you, and there'll never be another person that has your experiences and thinks the way you think. So take that and own that. Everybody needs to be introduced to the real you. So when you have that want, instead of looking around to see if it's out there already, just know that it's your job to express it. This is you coming out and expressing your true self. So if your want seems a little bit out there, great. That means, we need to discover it, and you're the one who's going to show it to us all. So people need to realize just how amazing they are, how original they are, and to really let that imagination out and own that want. It's there to be expressed.
Fabulous. Fran, how do we find out more about you?
You could go to my website, dreampath.ca, and there's a bunch of links there to all the other ways you can get a hold of me.
And she's a best-selling book, Your Life is a Movie, Scripting and Producing Your Dreams into Reality. So check that out as well. And thank you, Fran. This has been amazing, and I personally have really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you, Lorna.
Thank you for joining us on the Financial Freedom Podcast, to creating wealth, investing, and developing your money mindset. To get started today on your journey, head on over to www.lornapoole.com and grab your free course, 5 Steps to Breaking Free from Your Poverty Mindset and Accelerating Your Journey to Financial Freedom. See you there.